Hello everybody, it's Mike here at GameFromScratch, and I am not going to rant. I promise, no ranting at all, well, maybe a little bit. Now, the problem here is YouTube, and there's nothing new there. YouTube do dumb things all the time, and the problem is they have three different audiences. They have creators, they have viewers, and they have advertisers. And trying to please all three of them, especially to them, the advertisers, which are the most important ones, cause them to do some stupid things sometimes. And this one is yet another case. Now, this is a classic example of the road to hell being paved with good intentions. And thankfully, I saw this one coming, and I changed the way things work on GameFromScratch. And I was actually doing a video a few months back explaining why I made the changes that I did, and very few people commented on it, so I just kind of went with it, to be honest. So what am I talking about here? Well, now creators are responsible for links they make. And this is such a minefield, it's not even funny how stupid this is. And I saw how this could go badly, and yeah, I wasn't wrong. So this morning I got a link basically saying that the links on the following links on your channel have been flagged, they have been reviewed, bullshit, and removed as they're in violation of community guidelines. Bountyboxsoftware.com materialize/index.htp or PHP, they removed it. We haven't issued a penalty against your account. In the future, this will result in a strike. More on this in a second. If an external link goes to a site that contains spam, scams, and other deceptive practices, it is now allowed it is not allowed on YouTube. So if you don't know what I'm linking to here, this is Materialize. Materialize is a really cool piece of software. I think thousands of you have used it at this point in time. It's built on top of Unity. It's to create PBR textures. It's awesome. I do recommend you check it out regardless to what YouTube here has to say. Now, the one upside on YouTube's argument here is I woke up this morning, I saw this, and I appealed the link immediately, and then within an hour I got back this response. Thank you for your appeal. After review, we're happy to say that the content does not violate our strike, and we removed the strike that I wasn't supposed to get. Okay, so I guess we'll strike that one down as good news, bad news, good news. So good news is they accepted the appeal. Bad news is they issued a strike against me. Good news is that they removed the strike. Now, if you don't know, strikes are the bane of creators, and that's why this stuff is super important. And this is all stemming from their update to the external links policy enforcement. And this is basically, here's the summary. Adding links to external sites that egregiously, okay, screw it, violate our policies will now result in a community guideline strike. For example, external websites you link that include pornography or malware, receiving 3 strikes in 90 days will result in account termination. Whew. And that's not kind of, your account is nuked. All of your videos are gone. You are no longer on YouTube. But 3 strikes is a huge deal. Now let's talk about why this is such a stupid policy. Well, a couple of reasons. Now, first off, like I said, the road to hell, paved with good intentions. You look at this on the surface, you're like, oh, okay, no, that makes all kinds of sense. Because why should you be linking to malware, to scams, to pornography that's banned, to various different other violatory sites? I get why they're doing this. The problem is they can't enforce it. There's no way anyone reviewed that link. Like, it was machine learning, and their machines are stupid still. But the problem is they are playing with creators' lives on this stuff. You know, you pick up 3 false flags, and this isn't on new videos that were published. I published this video like a year ago. And so anybody that has links out of their channel, which is pretty much every creator, you are now 100% responsible for all of those links. So let's look at why this scenario can go bad. Let's look at scenario number 1, linking to software. Software gets flagged as false positives all the time, especially if you are using some of that malware that is trying to sell you on it. But, ooh, look how great of a job we're doing protecting you. So we found this malware in your computer. And then they report something like a tracking cookie as malware. We've all been there. Or even like look at Windows Smart Screen, which flags things as unsafe because they haven't been downloaded enough time. Well, that works great. So that means everyone that goes to compile or download the newest build of the Godot engine gets this big, bright warning of, you're downloading dangerous software. So deciding what software is dangerous is exceedingly scary. And on top of that, sometimes software gets hacked. Sometimes open source software, people inject dangerous code in there, and it is now technically malware. How the hell am I supposed to know that's going to happen? I'm linking to software that the day I linked it was completely safe. Over time, it can change. That's the nature of links. And that is fundamentally the problem with all of this. I can't link to a forum because who knows what the hell is going to happen there. The content on the other end of a link is completely mutable. So I have no control over what is at the end of a link other than the day I submit the link. And there's where all of this goes stupid. I could be linking to greatestsoftwareever.com, and then greatestsoftwareever.com GameFromScratch.com goes out of business in a year. And then GreatestMalwareProvider.com decides to buy that one because it's less obvious that that's what they're giving, and they redirect that domain to malware now. So a video I published 2 years ago or 3 years ago can now be in violation of this policy. And if you guys aren't seeing where this can all go horribly wrong yet, I don't really know how else to explain it. Like, basically, that's the nature of the internet. When you link something, you only know what you're linking to when you link it. The endpoint of that link can be changed at any time. And making creators responsible for those links, other than the day of the linking, is lunacy. But hey, it's YouTube and Google, so nothing new there. So that's where this policy came in. I saw it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to end poorly. So what I did is, when I first saw that this was coming, and I think they were announced around the turn of the year, as I started linking more and more stories to Game from Scratch, and then I did the links out from there. Now, sometimes you might go, why the hell didn't you just put this link down below? Well, this is why. You've seen it, and this is what I'm going to do going forward. Now, I'm lucky. I write a site alongside, like I do Game from Scratch, the YouTube channel, because I've been doing Game from Scratch, the website, for like 8 or 9 years now. And I report on game development related news, and a lot of times there's good overlap. So if I'm reporting something here, it's of interest to Game from Scratch viewers and vice versa. So what I will often do is embed the video that I've created over here, and then in the summary put all of the links that I would put in the other site and vice versa. So I'm lucky, and that is the policy. Now, what you might have noticed is sometimes, well, why the hell didn't you link something directly? Well, now you know why. And that is going to be my policy going forward. So I'm lucky I have a system in place where I can, basically guarantee the safety of those links. Now, if Google ever starts doing this, now sometimes it might end up that on occasion, GameFromScratch.com will be linking to something that is invalid, as time goes on. That's just the nature of links. But at least it puts that one layer buffer in so that I'm not going to get these strikes. And as you saw, my fears were already confirmed. I got a strike on this stupid system, even if it is a false positive, because they're depending on machine learning that hasn't learned yet. And it's the reality of these scenarios. And if you run a YouTube site, you need to go back through and scrub every single link that you have ever linked out. And that is madness, but that's also reality, unfortunately. So that's the purpose behind this video. First off, to explain a change that YouTube have made, and to show you that it is actually being enforced, and enforced badly. Also, a bit of a shout out to Materialize. Go check it out. I'm actually going to be doing an updated video because they've gone all open source, and there's another fork of it and so on. But that's either here nor there. And I'm also explaining the new linking policy here on GameFromScratch.com, or Game from Scratch to GameFromScratch.com. And hopefully you guys understand why I do that. And if you have any other suggestions of how to deal with this, I would love to hear them in the comments down below.